Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Legal showdown looms at the Guyana Elections Commission. Chairman says she has no power to remove APNU commissioners. WIN should have consulted with APNU on subject of removing PNCR APNU-nominated GECOM commissioners, says Aubrey Norton. KEVON Arthur Ridley gunned down in ALBOUYSTOWN. Killing might have been linked to a previous shooting. And 10% wage increase for Aurora Gold Mine workers in 2025 and an 8% increase in 2026. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Friday, January 30 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. We tell you first up that a major shakeup looms at the Guyana Elections Commission as opposition pushes for new commissioners. A legal battle is very possible. Here is more. A significant shakeup at the Guyana Elections Commission now appears imminent following an admission by GECOM's chair, retired Justice Claudette Singh, that she does not possess the authority to remove opposition-nominated commissioners, setting the stage for a potential legal and political showdown. The disclosure was made during a meeting on Thursday between Justice Singh and opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed, along with members of his parliamentary team. Central to the discussions was the status of the three opposition-nominated commissioners, Vincent Alexander, Desmond Trotman, and Charles Corbin, who were appointed when the People's National Congress reformed and later APNU-AFC formed the parliamentary opposition.
We talk about the commissioners, but Madam Chair said she doesn't have the power and authority to move the commissioners. So what we will do, we will write the three commissioners, the three APNU commissioners, thanking them for their time and asking them to do the honorable thing and resign.
The opposition leaders said the correspondence to the commissioners would be issued in the shortest possible time. The move signals a dramatic reconfiguration of the Elections Commission, with We Invest in Nationhood, now the largest opposition bloc in Parliament, asserting that its absence from GECOM undermines representation and confidence in the electoral machinery. Tabitha Sarabo Hali stressed that the current configuration no longer reflects political realities in Parliament.
I think if the commissioners that are there don't move, it would show that the positions of WIN will not necessarily be represented in the way that we would want it represented on the commission. And I think the commissioner should understand that, should recognize that they've been there for a very long time, and should make way for the new reality and the changes that are taking place in the country.
Another flashpoint is the appointment of opposition scrutineers, with local government elections expected within months. WIN Member of Parliament Dwart Hetzberger, who knows the ins and outs of GECOM, emphasized that scrutineers are a critical pillar of electoral transparency.
We want our interests to be represented. So it's only fair that our representative be there to represent us.
What unfolds next may test not only the law, but the resilience and credibility of Guyana's electoral system itself. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Antonio Day reports now that amid opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed's plans to formally request APNU-appointed commissioners on the Guyana Elections Commission to vacate their seats, PNCR leader Aubrey Norton suggested that Mohammed should have, in principle, consulted with his party before proceeding to explore the possibilities.
Azruddin Mohammed was recently elected leader of the opposition, a role previously held by the People's National Congress Reform, led a partnership for national unity. However, against this background, Mohammed had announced intentions to replace the APNU-nominated commissioners currently occupying the three opposition seats on the Guyana Elections Commission, known as GECOM. On Friday, Aubrey Norton, leader of the PNCR, at his party's press conference said it would have been sensible and principled for the newly elected opposition leader to consult his party before proceeding to explore these possibilities.
I thought as an opposition party, what WIN would have done was to engage us in consultation so that we could deal with the issue and point out to him and his team that it is the law. I think it doesn't look well if you as an opposition run to GECOM for GECOM to tell you we can't do anything. It shows you are not doing your homework.
Article 161(3)(b) of the Constitution states, and I quote, 3 members are to be appointed by the President in accordance with the advice of the opposition leader, tendered after meaningful consultation with non-governmental political parties represented in the National Assembly. After reports of Justice retired, Khalid Singh attempting to decommission GECOM by terminating the services of its 3 opposition commissioners, it was revealed that Singh admitted to not having the power to remove these commissioners. Nightly News ascertained that her admission to this was made following a meeting with Wynne on Thursday. Along with this context, Mr. Norton said that Wynne must understand the constitutionality of the subject before it considers any recourse.
The reality is it's a permanent commission, and unless there's a change of law, those commissioners will remain there.
Member of Parliament Ganesh Maipol added his voice to the subject.
Vincent Alexander and Charles Corbyn were nominated when the PNC was in opposition, and Desmond Trotman was nominated when we were in government. And their appointment, they cannot be removed by those very parties who nominated them.
However, with the We Invest in Nationhood party now being the main opposition, Azruddin Mohammed is proposing that Wynne commissioners assume these positions to replace Alexander, Trotman, and Corbyn. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. In an effort to bring relief to the residents of West Watuka squatting area who have been affected by flooding, Linden's mayor is seeking relief from central government. Marvin Cato reports.
I've chronicled all the information for whatever we have lost, chronicle all the information. I know folks got a list, so we call each and every person. We know everything in the list. Livestock goes to the agriculture department, the CBC do the plans and things, and we chronicle all the information.
That was Dominic Blair, Mayor of the Linden Town Council, speaking to constituents affected by the recent flooding in the West Watuka squatting area in Region 10.
It's a natural disaster. It's beyond anyone of us control. What happened? It's not something, and garbage is out there. It wasn't that in the capacity. He knows that they had a collapse, they had erosion.
The waters have since receded and residents have started cleanup efforts. However, the mayor has called on central government to provide the necessary relief to families affected by the flooding, particularly small farmers. The mayor highlighted that small farmers suffer significant losses in cash crops and livestock, resulting in setbacks to their food and security needs.
Persons have lost. We reach out to the relevant authorities, agencies, and we get things done.
He also pointed to the fact that as medium and long-term work continues on the roadway and drainage system, careful attention should be placed on preventing any future blockage to the main pipe that allows water to drain freely into the Demerara River. Pensioners and school-aged children were also affected as a result of the flooding. The mayor noted too that he will continue to seek central government's intervention to aid affected families. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Celebrate with us at Courts. We have what you need at the biggest season sale. Save with great deals and huge savings on select items store-wide. Get unbeatable values on TVs, new arrivals in furniture. Save on select bedroom sets, large appliances, free gifts, and much more. Shop now, pay later. Get huge savings this season, only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offers end February 28, 2026. Conditions apply.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover proper solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Manripo, East Coast, Aurora, or call 220-9624-629-4021 or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Need to open a bank account? There's no time to make the drive to stand in line. Get ready. Opening an account with Republic On Board is easy from anywhere at any time, even while waiting for a food order. So you don't have to skip lunch. Republic On Board. Fast, easy, secure. Visit www.republiconboard.com to open your account today.
HGP Nightly News. On the police blotter, another execution-style killing has been recorded in the police crime files in A Division. You'll have more details in this report. A man who was previously wanted by police in connection with a string of armed robberies was shot dead execution-style on Thursday night in Georgetown. Dead is KEVON Ridley, also known as Arthur, a resident of ALBOUYSTOWN, who was gunned down along James Street. Police were told that a masked gunman approached Ridley and opened fire before escaping on an XR motorcycle. An eyewitness who prefers her identity withheld spoke.
And he left and he goes, so then I say, "Boy, come with the XR, park the XR by this rubbish bin, come off, go in e-waste and pull out a black gun, me no gun name. And all my years pop, and I keep running."
Sources familiar with the investigation told Nightly News that the killing of Ridley seems to have been retaliatory. The shooting left 3 other persons injured, though their conditions remain unclear at this time. They were rushed to hospital for medical treatment. Ridley, though, is no stranger to law enforcement. He had been arrested in 2023 during a police raid at Stabrook Market, where he was wanted for questioning in relation to a series of armed robberies. Police had also linked him to the discharge of a loaded firearm during an incident on Lime Street, Working-Rust, in December of that year. During that raid, Ridley was found in possession of a small quantity of cannabis and was taken into custody at the Brickdam police station. No arrests have been made so far. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Antonio Day reports now that following complaints about poor working conditions and exploitation at Aurora Gold Mines Incorporated, a 2-year collective labor agreement was signed with the National Association of Agricultural, Commercial and Industrial Employees, NACI.
The Ministry of Labour and Manpower Planning on Thursday welcomed the signing of a 2-year collective labor agreement, CLA, between Aurora Gold Mine Incorporated and the National Association of Agricultural, Commercial and Industrial Employees, NACI. This agreement, covering the 1st of January 2025 to December 31st, 2026, will provide significant wage increases and expanded benefits for hundreds of workers at the Region 7 mining operation. The agreement follows extensive negotiations, which intensified after workers engaged in strike action over stagnant wages and working conditions. Keoma Griffith, Minister of Labour and Manpower Planning, said that he's happy that the protracted situation was amicably resolved.
I've been meeting with them for a long time, and I asked them to approach this process with maturity and in good faith. And I'm happy to report to the people of Guyana and to the workers especially that today is a very, very good day for workers in Guyana.
Earlier in January, wage adjustments were settled and both parties continued to finalizing the complete agreement. Under the CLA, Aurora Gold Mine workers will receive a 10% wage increase in 2025 and an 8% increase in 2026. Mark Goring, executive member of the We Invest in Nationhood, when contacted, said that he's happy that both Aurora Gold Mines and NACI were able to prioritize the interests of these employees.
Having reviewed collective agreement between NACI and the Aurora Gold Mine, I must say to some extent I'm pleased. Of course, the workers would have won more, especially the 160 that are getting early.
The WIN representative said that based on conversations with some workers, they were looking forward to more, but indicated their gratitude.
While that is a major increase, they still believe it could have been more, but nevertheless, they are grateful for it.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Leader of the PNCR, Aubrey Norton, is accusing the government of failing to deliver a people-centered budget, despite branding the 2026 national budget under the theme, Putting People First. Norton argues that the 1.558 trillion spending plan will deepen poverty and worsen the cost of living crisis for ordinary Guyanese. Tiana Cole is on this story.
Leader of the People's National Congress Reform PNCR, Aubrey Norton, has sharply criticized the government's 2026 national budget, contending that it fails to prioritize the needs of ordinary Guyanese and will instead increase poverty. Speaking during a party press conference on Friday, Norton accused the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic, PPPC, of adopting the opposition's campaign team while failing to reflect its substance in the budget's provisions.
The 2026 budget is a recipe for increased poverty and does not put people first. Were the government serious about putting people first, the budget would have had adequate provisions to deal with the high cost of living, poverty, a livable income, and a robust anti-corruption program.
Despite the team Putting People First being prominently featured, Norton and the APNU state allocations tell a different story. They point out that approximately 50.04% of the budget is earmarked for infrastructure development, a trend the opposition says has historically been linked to waste and corruption.
While the president said he will address the issue of corruption, there are no measures in this budget that look to address these critical questions of incompetence, wastage, and widespread corruption.
Norton further argued that meaningful human development would require stronger measures to address the rising cost of living and ensure a livable income for workers. APNU also criticized what it described as modest increases in wages and social support. Norton said the government's proposed 9% increase for public servants falls short, with the opposition instead calling for a minimum 25% increase. Concerns were also raised about social assistance allocations, which the opposition described as inadequate to meet current economic realities.
Public assistance increased by an unacceptable $3,000 per month to $25,000. APNU promised $44,000 per month. With a high cost of living, this is an extremely small increase. This extremely small increase is a pittance.
The opposition's criticism extended to allocations for vulnerable groups, which Norton described as a minimal compared to overall spending.
Less than 7 cents of every budget dollar go to the people.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. KEVON's waste management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call KEVON's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Celebrate with us at Courts. We have what you need at the biggest season sale. Save with great deals and huge savings on select items store-wide. Get unbeatable values on TVs, new arrivals in furniture. Save on select bedroom sets, large appliances, free gifts, and much more. Shop now, pay later. Get huge savings this season, only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offers end February 28th, 2026. Conditions apply.
To the HGP Nightly News, a total of 27 single-parent mothers on Thursday received allocations for the new homes during the launch of the Ministry of Housing's Hyde Park Homestead project along the Soesdijk-Linden Highway. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The first 27 beneficiaries, all single-parent mothers, on Thursday received allocations for their new homes during the launch of the Ministry of Housing's Hyde Park Yarracabra Homestead project along the Soesdijk-Linden Highway. The initiative is designed to provide affordable housing for low-income single mothers while promoting self-sufficiency through agriculture, with each home featuring an attached shade house for crop production. Minister of Housing Colin Crowe, speaking at the launch, said projects such as Hyde Park are critical to achieving national development goals and ensuring inclusive growth.
This project emphasizes the empowerment of women-led households and recognizes the vital role that women play in strengthening families, sustaining communities, and advancing national development.
Minister Kroll added that the project reflects government's commitment to people-centered, equitable, and far-reaching development.
Each homestead will therefore include a shade house, enabling year-round agriculture production, and provide families with meaningful income.
Meanwhile, Minister within the Ministry of Housing, Vanessa Ben, welcomed the initiative, noting that the inclusion of a shade house adds significant value to the housing program.
Now it's not just a house, it has a shade house where you can grow crops, sell them, and earn money from that to help you to pay for the mortgage.
The housing units feature a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom layout with an open concept kitchen, dining, and living area. The first 50 homes have already been completed, while another 25 units are approximately 50% complete. Construction is expected to begin shortly on an additional 37 homes. When completed, the first block of the Hyde Park Yarracabra site will accommodate 112 housing units. Beneficiaries will receive subsidized homes valued at approximately $7 million, along with attached shade houses, which will allow for year-round cultivation of high-value crops such as celery, broccoli, and bell peppers, generating supplemental income to assist with mortgage payments. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Guyana has been touted as food secure and self-sufficient according to international reports. While the government continues to tout this success, pundits have argued that the sufficiency was built on the foundation laid by the Burnham regime. Marvin Cato reports.
We will be the most, are the country that will produce the most food in the entire region. Because right now we are building this food hub, and we are seeing the transformation taking place.
That was Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa speaking to the issue of food security. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals articulates food security as zero hunger.
We have seen fruits and vegetables increase by 11% last year. And this is not only the traditional area. We gone into high-value crops.
The minister contends that there has been significant increase in production of certain foods. The Nature Food Journal published the results of a 2025 study that identified Guyana as the only country out of 186 surveyed that is fully self-sufficient in all 7 major food groups, meaning it can feed its entire population without relying on food imports. At the national level, self-sufficient is a step higher than food security. Food security speaks to the capacity to acquire sufficient food. Self-sufficient speaks to a sufficiency of food which is homegrown. Guyana therefore seems to be not only food secure, but not reliant on foreign supplies for its food security or self-sufficiency. Experts have contended that the capacity to be food secure requires the following steps: growing your own food, embracing the culture of community gardens, buying local, sustainable eating, and to understanding and being guided by the knowledge of what food security really means.
We have moved rice production. Now we are producing 6.6 tons per hectare from almost just about 5 in 2020.
In a letter to the editor, GECOM Commissioner Vincent Alexander contends that Guyana therefore owes a debt of gratitude to the Barnum regime for its foresight and leadership, which built the foundation for what is now being declared but not necessarily acknowledged, since politicking and revisionism trumps honesty and gratitude. He contends that the policy of self-sufficiency is but one of many pillars that Guyana could be built on, which, if acknowledged and overtly pursued, can engender the oneness of our peoples, nation, and destiny. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. Citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We don't want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Quench any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. Citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Hey, stop, I don't go away when you don't eat me food, you know. You got fair wash your place because I did my nails. When is somebody boy, they're gonna make a nice cake. Is my good cake on upon the same?
Madam, I got a call from the people in the community, and they said you are disturbing the peace. You're smelling up the place, and you're doing something, but your food always seems to smell good.
Peppies, you get the best on these things.
These things just make you cook good. I want these things, and I'll carry them for evidence.
I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you?
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening and welcome to Friday's edition of the Regional News. The Trump administration broadly eased sanctions on Venezuela's oil industry on Thursday as it seeks to expand production there after U.S. forces ousted the South American country's president, Nicolas Maduro, earlier this month. The U.S. Treasury authorized transactions involving the government of Venezuela and state oil company PDVSA that are ordinarily incident and necessary to the lifting, exportation, re-exportation, sale, resale, supply, storage, marketing, purchase, delivery, or transportation of Venezuelan origin oil, including the refining of such oil by an established U.S. entity. The decision is to issue a broad general license marks a pronounced shift from a previous strategy for granting individual exemptions to sanctions for companies seeking to do business in the country. During President Donald Trump's first administration, the Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control designated Venezuela's entire energy industry as a subject to the U.S. sanctions in 2019, after Maduro's first re-election, which Washington did not recognize. The license does not authorize any payment terms that are not commercially reasonable, involving debt swaps or payments in gold or any denominated in digital currency. The license also excludes any transactions involving persons or entities located in or controlled by Russia, Iran, North Korea, and Cuba. It also excludes transactions involving blockade vessels and entities, quote-unquote, organized under the laws of Venezuela or the United States, that is owned or controlled directly or indirectly by or in a joint venture with a person located in or organized under the laws of the People's Republic of China. U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday threatened new tariffs on countries supplying oil to Cuba, escalating a pressure campaign against the communist-run island. The move, authorized by an executive order under a national emergency declaration, did not specify any tariff rates or single out any countries whose products could face U.S. tariffs. Emboldened by the U.S. military seizure of ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in a deadly raid earlier this month, Trump has repeatedly talked of acting against Cuba and pressuring its leadership. Trump said this week that Cuba will be failing pretty soon, adding that Venezuela, once an island's top oil supplier, has not recently sent oil or money to Cuba. Trump has used tariff threats as a foreign policy tool throughout his second term in office. Cuba's president said this month Washington has no moral authority to force a deal on Cuba after Trump suggested that the communist island should strike an agreement with the United States. Eight police officers who were charged in 2023 in connection with an investigation into alleged irregularities at the firearm unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS, have now been committed to stand trial. The officers were committed on Thursday following the completion of a sufficiency hearing before Magistrate Margaret Sukraj and will now face a trial before High Court Justice Katihan Waterman. The accused are ASP Aaron Bedu, Sergeant David Swanson, Sergeant Cindy Ann Chase, Sergeant Lincoln Bunnett, Acting Sergeant Dina Gibson, Sergeant Marvin Rupchand, Corporal Marvin Diaz, and PC Natasha Phillips Paul. They are jointly charged with misbehavior in public office, arising out of allegations that they conspired to issue approval letters to firearm holders for the purchase of additional rounds of ammunition. During the proceedings, the state had led evidence through 6-1 sworn statements. At the close of the prosecution's case, attorneys for the accused filed no case submissions. The state replied, and in an oral ruling, Master Sukraj found that a prima facie case had been made out and called upon the officers to answer the charges. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Delvin Neblett now joins us with HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblett with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Friday, January 30, 2026. As part of the government's nationwide initiative to develop and enhance sporting facilities, state-of-the-art floodlights have been installed and are now fully functional for the first time at the Unity Community Center ground in Mahaika. The Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport confirmed the progressive works via social media post, citing new opportunities for sporting events and other recreational activities in Mahaika and its surrounding areas. Moving into football, action took place in the Georgetown Football Association Senior Men's League with two fixtures at the Plaisance Community Center ground on Thursday. Match number 1 was a thumping 7-1 victory for the Northern Rangers FC over Ordis FC, while Pile FC and the Motherland played to a scoreless draw in match number 2. Action is set to continue in the Georgetown Football Association Senior Men's League with multiple fixtures over the weekend. Moving into cricket, action is set to commence in the Demerara Cricket Board's 50 overs under-15 inter-association tournament with two fixtures on the east coast of Demerara on Saturday. Title holders Georgetown take on East Bank at the Lusignan ground, while East Coast go up against West Demerara at the LBI ground. On Sunday, Georgetown take on West Demerara at Lusignan, while Demerara Select 11 meet East Bank at LBI. On Tuesday, February 3rd, East Bank take on East Coast at Lusignan as West Demerara face the Demerara Select 11 at LBI. Georgetown then meet East Coast host at Lusignan on Wednesday as East Bank battled the DCB Select 11 at LBI. In the final round, the Demerara Cricket Board Select 11 faced Georgetown at Lusignan as West Demerara take on East Bank at LBI. The team with the most points at the end of the single round robin will emerge as champion. More in cricket action resumed in the 2026 CWI CG United Women's Super 50 tournament, with Guyana taking on Trinidad and Tobago at the Park Hill playing field in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Thursday. Winning the toss and batting first, Guyana were bowled out for just 31 in 16.5 overs. Raeliana Griffin added 8 as Anissa Mohammed was destructive for Trinidad, taking 8 for 11. When Trinidad responded, they reached 32 for 1 off 11 overs as Ashwini Munisar picked up 1 wicket in a losing effort. Guyana's next fixture in the 2026 CWI CG United Women's Super 50 tournament will be against the Windward Islands at the Park Hill playing field in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Saturday. Finally, in cricket, action took place in the second of 3 T20 internationals between the West Indies and South Africa at Supersport Park in Centurion on Thursday. Batting first after being sent in, the West Indies reached 221 for 4 of their allotment of 20 overs. Shimron Hetmeyer top scored with 75 as Shafin Rutherford remained unbeaten on 57. Kishap Miraj was the pick of the bowlers for South Africa, taking 2 for 22. When South Africa responded, they reached 225 for 3 off of 17.3 overs on the back of a brilliant century from Quinton de Kock, who scored 115. Ryan Rickleton added 77 as Akil Hussain picked up 2 for 41 in a losing effort. The third and final T20 international between the West Indies and South Africa will take place at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg on Saturday. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwood Neblet reminding you to stay in the game.
Legal showdown looms at the Guyana Elections Commission. Chairman says she has no power to remove APNU commissioners. Wynne should have consulted with APNU on subject of removing PNCR APNU nominated GECOM commissioner, says Aubrey Norton. KEVON Arthur Ridley gunned down in Albouyston. Killing might have been linked to a previous shooting. And 10% wage increase for Aurora Gold Mine workers in 2025 and an 8% increase in 2026 amid signed collective labor agreement. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.